What's going on? You're watching TVU's Most Wanted. I am Jared, and I get the pleasure of hanging out with Jeremy and Mike from The Devil Wears Prada. How you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
How am I?
How are you, Mike?
I'm okay.
That was like you were interviewing him, like, how
I'm
are
eliminating
you?
you like, so, how are you today?
Just gonna do this interview. Nothing wrong with that. So the Back to the Roots tour, man, in full swing. I got to catch you guys in Columbus, Ohio. It was ridiculous. How's it been going so far?
It's been good, really good so far. We had a couple festival dates just kind of on the way out here, or back to here, I guess, rather. And first two shows have been really awesome, and it feels good to be back in like a small, intimate kind of environment with like our whole thing geared towards that instead of just being an off show from another tour, you know?
Right. Who actually came up with the idea of the Back to the Roots tour? Because I know you guys obviously are just blowing up now. So to go to a venue that can hold like 200 people, like that's really cool idea. Who kind of came up with that?
I'll make you hold it. Sadly, it was our booking agent. I wish we could say that it was us.
Wish you could claim that, but
no, but it wasn't. But we were all about the idea, and it was brought to us in December or November of last year, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do this summer. We've done Warp the past 2 years, which means we're not going to do it again,
right?
And which is what everyone was expecting, I guess. And
everyone is expecting you to do Warped again?
Yeah, it was
still asking us, are you guys on Warped tour?
Yeah, seriously, the people could not wrap their heads around the idea that we weren't doing Warped Tour 3 years in a row.
Because we're so punk.
Just so punk. We have to be on Warped Tour all the time. But,
I mean, the good news is that you have a lot of people that want to see you on Warped Tour. I mean, let's be honest. There's some bands that would really enjoy that. So the Back to the Roots tour, though, been good so far, and you guys are just like, let's go do some smaller venues.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because we've only done 2 actually club shows.
Right.
But so far, it's just been what we're... Well, honestly, better because this venue actually has AC, and what we've all been worried about is just the heat and the equipment and stuff. But so far, we've actually had pretty good luck.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think there was a lot of AC when I mean, maybe it's just AC for you guys, because when I was in the crowd, there was sweat dripping from the ceiling. It was ridiculous.
Comparatively, it was really AC, because we've played these clubs where it's just... You walk out and you're just like, and someone's like, "Can I get an autograph?" You're like, "I can't breathe." Like
breathing through a wet cloth, right? So since it's TVU, we just got a new video from The Devil Wears Prada, assistant to the regional manager. Maybe we should talk a little bit about that. Tell me about that. A little bit different than a couple other videos from The Devil Wears Prada.
We've just always done the same kind of video. You know, we did 2 of them that were. Really similar, and then we did another one for Danger, and they were all really like story related kind of things. There's a whole lot of meaning and everything that was happening, and just kind of the treatments were all really like story related. And I think Mike was watching maybe like a Converge video or something like that, and it was just really dark and just really cool, and just cool imagery as compared to that. And we always get people like, why does the old man do this? Like, I think that is a parallel for this. And so we just wanted to do something that was really dark, but just full of cool imagery and stuff like that. So
why does the old man do that? No, I'm just kidding. We always get questions. But what, I mean, this new video, it's kind of just like completely open. You just get some cool stuff in it.
It's just more, I don't know, I think a lot of bands try and shy away from the real heavy side of things they do. The farther along in their career they get, they just want to be more accessible and more mainstream or whatever, you know. And we've kind of just embraced the fact that we're a heavy band, and I think this video kind of goes along that path to where we're just, you know what I mean, trying to do that kind of thing and be a heavy band and have darker imagery, you know, if you want to bubblegum and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of other bands that are doing plenty of that, so we're trying to shy away
from the Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
So tell me about shooting this video, because obviously it'd be a little bit different shooting. It'd probably be a little less time consuming on your end, because it looks like it was more, you know, stuff from the production company's end.
Yeah, we wanted less band shots, which is how it turned out, and it really was pretty short. It was done by the same people that did our first 2. All 3 have been done in Pittsburgh. It really was a pretty short day of shooting compared to usual, where it's just the longest day
Right.
of your life, but it was pretty nice, and I just got in and got out pretty easily. It was right before we started that All That Remains co-headline tour, so
Right.
it was an easy day.
Cool. Any plans for any other music videos on the way, or just see what happens?
Yeah, we have plans for stuff, but we just don't know necessarily what it's going to be, but we've talked about it and stuff. Definitely going to keep pumping them out as long as they'll give us the funding to do so.
I'm down because I really enjoy all the Devil Wears Prada's music videos. So more of the Devil Wears Prada's coming up. Stick around. It's TVU's Most Wanted. The Devil Wears Prada's out on the Back to the Roots tour right now. If you want to find out where they're going to be, when they're going to be close to you, check out their MySpace page, their Facebook, all that kind of stuff. I have to admit, I bought, hands down, the coolest band shirt I have ever purchased, and I've purchased a lot of band shirts at one of your guys' shows. The Twilight Zombie shirt, that was freaking fantastic, dude. How did that happen?
Well, I was in my car, and I never really contribute to the t-shirt process. It's always Mike and Chris. They pretty much handle every single design. And they sent this email that was like, hey, like, anybody have any ideas for merch? I was like, this time I'm going to think of something. Like, this time I'm going to contribute and be, you know, part of the group. And so I just said this thing, and then Mike, I was like, what about Twilight? Mike just, like, took off with it, like, vampires suck, zombies rule, this whole thing. We'll tie it in with that. And just went from there.
Incredible. Seriously. Do you design the shirts, or do you just kind of concept everything and then send it out for other people?
No, I don't do any of the designing. I try to think up ideas, and if I can't think of an idea, I just, you know, work with the designer on it.
Okay.
But I don't know, I've kind of stayed in touch with certain guys, the ones that make the stuff that sell better, and the guys that, you know, just work with us really well.
Right.
And when he suggested a Twilight shirt, I was like, what if we, like, none of us actually like Twilight, right. So we're like, what if it was one of, with everything coming up about zombies, or like, what if I was like, a zombie shirt and then the back print. And we had the perfect guy to do it, this dude that has done a lot of stuff for us, and he did a home improvement shirt for us at one time.
Really? A home improvement shirt?
Tim and Al, yeah.
That one is awesome. I think it's on our merch now store, probably.
It didn't sell that well, unfortunately. It was like on an orange shirt.
I don't think any of our fans knew what home improvement was.
Yeah, they all thought
that's a travesty, man.
They thought Al Borland was Billy Mays, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They've got a lot of learning to do. They need to watch some. Yeah, they need to watch some good TV.
Oh man, well seriously, some fantastic merch. All right, I guess moving on a little bit, let's talk about the Devil Wears Prada Slays, man. Tell me a little bit about what's going on there. What happened? Who came up with all of that? What the Devil Wears Prada has going on?
Pretty much, we had this idea to do an EP about zombies. Long story short, and. The sheer idea of it is it has so much marketing capabilities, you know, and just a lot of potential. So we want to do as much as we can with it. And one thing that we thought would be cool was to do like a countdown,
right?
And just to make like kind of a cool website. People are like, this isn't viral marketing and all this, but like it was just meant to be someone where people really got talking about it.
It was pretty awesome. I don't know where you guys got the clip for the website, but it was pretty sweet sounding clip.
Actually, they like made it in the studio, kind of to go. It's James talking, but he's like voice stretch kind of, so
that's awesome, man. So tell me about the EP, man.
Like I said, we just wanted to, I had the idea to do a zombie song, and then when I brought it to the rest of the guys, they're like, let's make an EP. And from that day, that exact day, we were absolutely 100% dead set, ready to go.
That's it.
And started really working on it, and this was fall of last year.
Cool.
So it feels good.
The gray English skies influenced us.
We're in Europe.
There it is, man. If you want to find out more about the Devil Wears Prada's EP, any tour dates, check out merch, because seriously, they got some sweet stuff going on. Link up at TVUlive.com. Guys, thanks for taking the time to hang out with me today. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
It's TVU's Most Wanted.